Alright guys, so I've been testing all of the new stuff in this game, specifically the Sand Devil, the new Ascension system, for hours. 20 hours, 30, 40, 50, and so on. We are getting very high. I'm very familiar with this brand new content. I'm confident I'm more familiar with it than a lot of people as far as the systems, the intricacies of the systems, and I've been paying attention to what people have been saying in the official Discord as a moderator, looking at the community on other social media forums for the first time kind of ever, because I never really pay attention to that stuff, listening to what people are saying about all this new stuff. So we're going to talk about it. I'm going to do something I've never done before in my career on YouTube. So let's just dive into it. What up team, it is MurderInc here. We are talking about all of this stuff, the impacts it's going to have on the community. So specifically the Ascension system, the new dungeons, what it's doing to players, how players are reacting to it. So I want to test something out and you have to help me for that. So I'm going to need your help. I want you to pause this video. I want you to write your honest thoughts and feelings about the new Ascension system. Ascending gears, how does it affect you? How does it affect all the players? I'm doing this and I don't want to, listen, don't take this the wrong way, but not because I care about what you're saying. I'm going to try like a social experiment here. I'm going to have you write this down. And when you pause it, then you're going to reflect on it after this video. And I want you to edit the comment and edit if your mind changed or if it stayed the same. Now, to be clear, this isn't me trying to change your mind on how you think about the new update, the Ascension system, if you do have problems with it or you do like it. That's not my goal here. My goal, I can't say because it would sway how you answer here, but just do it. It's going to be interesting, mostly for you reading other people's comments and their edited input afterwards. So as you guys saw from the thumbnail, I started playing this game in December 2018 on the 21st of that month, which means I am currently 9 days away from having played this game for 4 years. 4 years is a very long time. There are not a lot of players who have been playing for that long that are still around and have never quit or taken a break from this game. So with that being said, I have a really good gauge on how this company has been doing things for a long time. The question is this different? Now, SmileyTK made a very good video about this. He addressed a lot of concerns. Players were coming to his DMs that he was talking about. Longtime players saying, I want to get rid of my account. And they said, would you want to make a video on me getting rid of my account or giving it away? Something along those lines. So I'm going to give you my brutal feedback here because you guys know I don't really cater to the masses, what people think. I'm just going to give you my opinion. It's going to come off strong, I guarantee it. So just hear me out and understand what I'm saying and don't just hate it because you don't want to hear it. So the first thing is going to be, if you're going to quit because of something like this, it's a new grinding feature in a game that was designed 100% around grinding. So weak-minded, you're not meant for raid. It's not a bad thing. It's not like me talking down upon you. This game just isn't for you. For some reason you didn't figure it out for Iron Twins, the initial dragon farming, Fire Knight farming. If an Ascension system like this bothers you as much as it does to make you quit the game, you were never meant to play raid in the first place. Now, with that being said, I can already hear, without even knowing, I'm recording this, no one has seen this, all of the counter arguments formulating in the back of people's heads based on emotion. They are saying, Murder, what are you talking about? And this is something that Smiley did. Not to discredit him and say he got emotional in it, but he used a perfect example, like a pitch perfect for his video, where he was talking about ascending gear, and he said, look at my speed boots. He went like this. I haven't ascended anything. I'm going to do that in a video coming up. But he said, look at my speed boots. Of all of my speed boots, I had to farm campaign for a speed roll and they became the greatest boots on my account. Now just think about that for 1 second. He was explaining it as a negative. However, the fact that someone like Smiley or someone like myself who has farmed probably about 1 million plus energy in Fire Knight, Dragon, all of those dungeons, the fact that a player can go into campaign, get a white pair of 6-star boots, ascend it to speed, and fully ascend it after that, have a better pair of boots than I can, how is that not the greatest thing for this game? If I roll flat attack on my boots, flat HP on my boots, does it make the best pair of boots on my account garbage worth vendoring? The answer is no. This is what I think a lot of people have done, and this is what I'm going to do that I haven't done before on my YouTube stream. So we're out here. I just opened up Paint. You're going to start calling me Picasso after this because we are going in. So let me get rid of this. So the first thing you have to realize is a couple of things. We're going to type old gear here, and then we're going to make another box and type new ascended gear. Okay, so this is the main thing that people have to realize, or none of this really works, right? We're going to go ahead and make a paintbrush. You have to consider the gear quality depth of your account. So how good is your gear? Let's say your worst gear is here and your best gear is here. This is going to be on a scale. So this is where the old gear is. Now you're going to start ascending pieces. I probably shouldn't have placed them in this order, so this is going to be here, and this is going to be here. So now, this is the new, as far as the Ascension goes. Now we're comparing the old gear here. So now you can farm the campaign, like Smiley was talking about how we got an upgrade there. It rolled speed, and he got a new pair of boots that were twice as good. We're just gonna say twice, even though it's not quite twice. So this is now the new peak of gear for Smiley's account. So pre-Ascension, pre all of that good stuff, he was at this level. Now he was able to go to the campaign and get something that puts him here. So how, as someone that's looking at this logically, can you sit there and say, the gear that's now at this line, where your old gear was the best, is the worst gear on your account, when you still have an entire section of gear that's over here at the bottom? So what is this going to do? For endgame players, those are the majority of players who are upset. There are some mid-game and late players who are upset too, but for most people in this game, I'm not talking about the people who are watching YouTube, because there's, I don't think, a ton of early game people watching YouTube in general. I mean, if you look at it in the great expanse of things, there are millions of players who play Raid Shadow Legends, and there are not even close to millions who watch YouTube. I would say there's maybe 6 digits or less that watch YouTube on a daily basis. So with all of this being said, this is going to be a straight quality gain to your account no matter how you look at it. If your best boots, just think about this, because I don't understand where people are like flipping this up as far as when they say it out loud. If your best quality gear turns into your worst quality gear, that means you just raised the bar so far in your account progression as far as your gear that it's unlike anything we've seen in this game before. So once again, going back to this incredible picture I've drawn here, if you take a look at the old gear chart that I made, let's say it took me 4 years to make this chart. From point A all the way to point B, it took me 4 years to get this quality of gear, whatever it is between the lowest and the highest. Now, in just one farming session, I was able to get stats to increase that by an entire bar and make my best gear, if they rolled poorly, my new worst gear. Just think about how strong that is. Now, the pieces you get that are blue, not so much gray, that's a very specific scenario with speed gear. When I say gray, I do mean common. That was a specific scenario that Smiley used for it, which proves the point I'm trying to make even more so. So the fact that you can get blue quality gear, epic gear, to compete with quad rolls is insane. And it's crazy, and it's so good for overall progression. Is it demoralizing that you've spent 4 years farming for gear to have it roll poorly? Sure. Does it matter that much? No. Why does it not matter that much? Because you can beat the entire game with your current gear. So does it really matter outside of that if you're getting better gear? Now, if you're pushing Platinum Arena, I get it for sure. However, even if you're pushing Platinum Arena, the fact that, once again, someone like Smiley, who is a very good Platinum Arena player in my clan, can farm the campaign, get a speed pair of boots, and ascend it to become his best speed boots is insane. thinking about how long it takes to get a perfect pair of speed boots. Not to say it's perfect, but something that's perfect in a sense of how big of an upgrade it is over the second best pair. The fact that he got it from the campaign is incredible. So what are we doing now? If you're endgame and you're wondering why I'm going on about this, saying Murder, no matter how you look at it, you always like to be contrarian to people. You're wrong in this sense. I can get rid of the painting now that I'm done with that. Okay, let's get rid of that, go back to the game here. So Murder, what are you really on about? There's no way you can tell me that if you have your best Savage gear whenever I roll my gear, which I will probably do in the next video. What if it rolls poorly? Are you not going to be upset? Is it going to be disappointing? Yes. Am I going to say I've wasted 4 years? No. That's just, it just sounds ridiculous to me. It should sound ridiculous to everybody, but I'm just going to speak for myself here. What it really comes down to is, if you're an account that's on my level, that's on Smiley's level, you're not farming Fire Knight, you're not farming Dragon, you're only farming Spider for silver, because we've done the cost analysis. I've made a video on this before. The best way to get an upgrade when you have an account similar to mine, or end game overall, you don't buy energy. It's more expensive to buy energy than it is to buy gear packs. We've done the math. It's cheaper to buy gear packs for 6-star legendary gear or epic if you still need epic gear, compared to buying the amount of energy that would on average net you the amount of 6-star specific set gear from that dungeon. No matter how you look at it. And some people, when I said that at first in the video, they commented saying, but Murder, that makes no sense when energy is free. Okay, people who have that argument, let me counteract you with this. Get 50,000 energy right now for free. You can't, can you? However, you can spend money and buy energy packs. So if you want to wait 5 months and say, I saved money because I waited 5 months instead of buying a gear pack, therefore my way is cheaper than yours, you're right. Is it realistic to what we're talking about? No. Do you know that? Yes. Stop playing yourself. So with that being said, the TLDR of what I'm trying to explain here is, this new dungeon is giving you more stats to the game here. Now, the one thing that people are upset about that I can agree with to an extent are these new advanced quests. Where is it? Okay, I don't have it here. Or maybe it's a clan quest. I don't even know where it is. Is it a clan quest? Let's go to the clan quest. I mean, I'm really not going to sit here and look for it. There's a quest that says ascend a piece of gear somewhere. Surely it's an advanced quest. I don't know why I don't see it here. Or maybe it's a monthly quest. I don't know. Weekly. I mean, I haven't completed these in such a long time. Surely it's not a daily. So wherever it is in the game, it says ascend a piece of gear. Now, players are upset about this. Should they be? Yes. Is it wrong for them to have added this to the game? No. Is it wrong for them to have added it as soon as the content released? Yeah. Coming from someone from a business background, this was a clear mistake. Why they did this, I don't know. Trying to get people more excited to do this, I guess. Is it working? Maybe. Only their numbers are going to show, but it wouldn't have killed them to wait a month, 2 months, 3 months. So the point being is, if you're going to come at me and say, I don't have the team or the power to clear stage 1 of the Sand Devil's Necropolis, I'm going to say you're lying. This guy is 110 power level. We'll just call it a power level for now. Let's see what the dragon equivalent to 110 is. It's between stage 11 and 12. So we'll just round up and say 12. Now, if you're not farming stage 12 on the dragon, you have no need to go into the Sand Devil's Necropolis because you don't have gear that's good enough that's worth ascending. This kind of goes back to my point of, should they have waited before they added this? Yes. So the fact that you can just go in here and do one run of stage 1 and call it a day to complete whatever it is, assuming it says ascend it 1 time, you only get 4 to 5 of these. Probably shouldn't have showed that screenshot of what I had. That's supposed to be a thumbnail in the future. Oh well, the jig's up now. So this is the TLDR about the new content here and what I wanted to explain for it. So now, after me having said that, I want to see, it looks like there's a 3x speed event. Nice, 2 days and 4 hours remaining. Listen, if you ascended poorly, head into the dragon and start farming, right? So the second thing I want to talk about is going to be this. If you What this does that a lot of people overlook is it gives you a second chance at redemption once you do farm gear. I haven't heard a single player bring this point up. So, every time you run a stage, just say stage 25, you have a chance of getting a set amount of loot. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 gear sets you can get from stage 25. Of those 9 gear sets, you want speed. Of those speed sets, you want speed boots. Now, if you get speed boots and you don't get the substats you want, typically you sell them. Now you don't sell them. You get what the new dungeon has done. It's given you a second chance. A second chance to roll speed, saying, okay, you didn't roll the best substats, but now you can potentially put one set of lesser oils into it, see if it rolls speed, and you might just have your best set of boots on the entire account. The same thing applies to a chest piece, attack percent, rolling, crit rate, crit damage, whatever you want to ascend from it. Same with gloves, rolling crit rate on the gloves as the ascension, rolling crit damage on the gloves as the ascension. We are now in this really interesting spot in the game where gear ascension has now completely opened up what you can do on your account with the gear you get. You're going to be selling much less gear. You're going to want to ascend them once or twice. Gear that I would never think twice about in the past 2 to 3 years of farming, I'm now going to start thinking about. I'm now going to start ascending them once because the ascension system is so strong that you're going to be selling less gear and you're going to be rolling more gear to see how good it is, because it has the potential to outperform your current gear. Not substantially, but to a good enough rate to make it worth it. So that's kind of my conflicting thing. So if you're willing to quit after everything I just explained to you, once again, you're not built for grinding games, which this has clearly been since day one, or you're just too emotional about it. Think back. The duplicate system, that killed the game. It didn't really kill the game, but the community feedback was that killed the game. Were there negative impacts? Sure. Did it kill the game? Was it a big deal? No. Did the people quit, regret it? I saw firsthand people that said they quit and said, I probably shouldn't have quit, that was too early. And they ended up buying accounts. I've seen it many times. The same exact thing happened for the Iron Twins dungeon when we got the blessings. Stupid, going to kill the game, power creep. Long-time players that have been playing for 1, 2, 3, 4, however many years you want to say, are giving up their accounts, putting them up for giveaways, they're quitting. It's the same cycle. It always happens. Every time a major patch comes into this game, it's gonna kill the game, players get upset, overly upset for sure, and they start giving away their accounts to then realize 2, 3, 4 months down the line that A, it was the right decision because they just weren't made for raid, right? The game's just not for them. Or they regret it saying, I jumped the gun, I spoke with my emotions and not with logic, and this ended up not even being a big deal. So that's kind of the point I wanted to say here. Like I said, is this going to get people upset? It always does. Whenever I share my opinion publicly, people tend to get a little bit, Can I help it? No. But now it's time to go back into the comments, see what you first reacted to as far as the new Ascension system on gear. Is it good for the game? Is it bad for the game? Then comment saying it's still the same. If you're salty about this video, you're probably going to say, stupid video, I still feel the same way. Your opinion's fine. Does it logically make sense? No. I just put the numbers out there for you. But I value your opinion for sure. As long as you don't quit. If you do quit, then how could I value an opinion of someone that's just going to give up on the game? Or number 2, you're going to say, I thought it was going to be a bigger deal, but once you explain the numbers and how every new piece, you're actually getting more chances of an upgrade as opposed to less chances of an upgrade. I understand the whole RNG is RNG, but in the end, it's semantics. This is good for the game. It increases the power level overall on all of the accounts of the game. Do the end game players suffer more than the early game players? 100%. Is that a problem? In my opinion, no. Who makes up the majority of the money for this game? Not the end game players. Different from every other game I've ever seen on mobile, the players who keep this game running are not the people spending thousands of dollars. It's the ones that are spending 50 and never spending again. That's why the ad marketing campaign has put so much money into this game. I've done videos on that in the past, so I'm not going to talk about that too much here, but it is what it is. Endgame players like me, listen, If you don't know how this company works by now, it's a you problem, not a game problem. Adapt to what they release. We can give feedback, but to say and stomp your feet saying change the game because endgame players are suffering, yet the entire community as a whole is getting stronger, it just makes no sense if you think about it for more than 5 seconds. So that's going to conclude my video here today. As always, if you enjoyed this content, slap that like button, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and I will see you all in my next upload.